Hi, I'm Margot Falls, the Senior Care Guru, and welcome to Inside Senior Care. Today, I have a guest that has created something that I think that families that share in the care of their loved ones can really benefit from. Her name is Trisha O'Flaherty, and Trisha O'Flaherty is the author of a booklet called "This Is My Care." Hi, Trisha.
Hi, Margot. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today. So, as a senior care advisor, as I'm helping families navigate their care options and future care plans, oftentimes there is many transitions along the way. They can start off at home with their family, loved ones, caring for them, then maybe go into an agency where the agency is providing in-home care and they have several caregivers staffing them. They may transition to assisted living. In between, they may go to a nursing home. But oftentimes, there is a lot of transitions that they go through, while they're being cared for. And
Absolutely.
and so when I saw your booklet, I thought, what a great idea, because the fact that they have to do the transitions is hard enough, whether they're having cognitive issues or physical issues, those transitions are hard enough. But then when people are not able to care for them properly, that adds a whole nother layer. So, can you tell us a little bit about your background, your history, and then the creative process and um, why you actually developed this booklet?
Sure. Okay. Well, so there's the booklet. It's called This Is My Care. And my background is from way back. I started as a graphic designer and a marketer. I tended to lean towards women in small business and had a really good experience doing that for a good 7 to 10 years. And then a little bit after that, part time. The part-time started when I made the decision to become a caregiver. And graphic design was great. I loved it. That's what I went to university for. But it was sort of a feast or famine situation at times. And I wanted something that I knew I could get, the bills paid all the time. And I lived in a small community, and there was a huge hospital in that area. And I thought, maybe I could volunteer at the hospital and do something. And then it sort of transitioned into me being caregiver. I worked for the Red Cross and I went into the homes of peoples. I did all the things that you just mentioned. I was in a hospital situation for 7 years. I worked for long-term care. I did respite care. I did end-of-life care. So I've kind of done the gamut of it. And through all those experiences, I always felt that there was something that I wanted to give back um, to the people that I've cared for, or the reason why I'm a caregiver. And that was where this came about.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. And um, you had shared a little bit about a personal story that I fell in love with. Um, a lot of times, most of the time, people that are in senior care, it's coming from a place of caring. We've either cared for somebody that we loved, we wanted to make something better, or we went through a certain experience. Can you share a little bit, whatever you feel comfortable with, on your experience with caring for a loved one that really pushed this and pushed you to make this happen?
Well, the story that I believe you're speaking about, that we talked about briefly, was my mother. My mother was an amazing woman who was the um, head registrar of a university, a very prominent university in Canada. And I always saw her as this most strong and very alert and full of life person. And unfortunately, without my knowledge, she started to have the signs of rapid onset dementia. And I got a phone call from my stepdad. I got an email from my stepdad because it was overnight where she went missing. And I woke up at 6 a.m. to this email saying my mother had gone missing and hadn't come home last night. And it was just foreign to me. My mom took care of a university. How does she go missing? And at the end of the very crazy conversation, he said, well, she's gone, Trish, and she probably took her life because she did not want to go through the experience of having Alzheimer's. And she had told him apparently that if she ever thought she was going to get Alzheimer's or a form of dementia, that she would just very quietly go to a snowbank. We lived in Canada, and kind of just go to sleep. I'll never know how she ended her life because we found her 6 months later. Someone walking their dog found her on the side of a riverbank. So I can have my assumptions on how it happened. I think she wanted me not to know. She took that with her. So I had always wanted to write this book and put out a book like this, but that situation, I said, okay, she made the decision that she did not want to be taken care of. She made the decision that maybe it was going to be too hard for her. Maybe she thought it was going to be too hard on me or her husband. And she may have had the courage to do that, but I really don't believe I'm going to have a courage. If that was to happen to me, I don't think I'm going to have the courage. So I said, I'm putting this book out because this is a book that you can be proactive in and write everything that you want for your care and how you want to be cared for before it happens. And so I really do try to push this book as a proactive thing for people in whatever age that they are, because I know exactly right now how I want to be cared for. I can fill it in. I could put everything in that I want, down to how I want my hair done in the morning or how I want the temperature of my room when I'm being left at the end of the day, stuff like that. So it's more than what a care plan would have for a caregiver coming in, telling them that they have to bathe me or give me breakfast. What's in this book is the minutia of what caregiving is to me. And if it's not yourself that's filling it in, then hopefully a family member or someone who knows the individual well, can fill it in for their loved one. And then it's left at the front of their house, it's left by their bedside, it's left by their hospital bedside, wherever it is that they're being cared for. That's what it's meant for. So that was my story in a nutshell.
I thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. That's so important because there's a lot of fear. They go through a lot. We don't know what they're going through when they turn, and
No idea what my mother went through.
when they change. Sometimes it's sudden, and we don't know what they're going through. And you answered, I think, my next question, which was, who is it for? Who is the ideal customer for this? Who is this for, and who will it help? So there's a couple of different customers for this book, right?
Probably more. Yep. So being proactive. So at any age to fill it in, I would say 40s, 50s, 60s, you could fill this in for yourself, put it somewhere, let the person that you live with know where it is. Because it can be used if you're just in an accident and being brought to a hospital or whatever. It's for seniors, it's for people with dementia, it's for people with cognitive issues, memory loss. It's for the caregiver, someone who may have their own caregiving business. And it's a very, very, I'll call it a cheap book but it's very economical. It's only $14.99. So, you could put 5 or 10 in your home, and then as you have new clients, it's something that you give to them and ask them to fill out and have ready for you for when you get into their home. It's for care facilities, you name it. If you need to be cared for, it's for anybody who knows someone who needs to be cared for, or for yourself.
That's wonderful. And knowing somebody's desires and what makes them happy can make all the difference in the experience for both the caregiver, the family, and the senior.
Absolutely, absolutely. When I was caring for people, I would always ask, so how do you want that done? How can I make this better for you? And if it wasn't to the individual I was caring for that I was asking those questions, I was asking the family. And a lot of times they would say, "Wow, I've never had anybody ask me that before. I'm so happy that you're asking, because I was just assuming we had to receive the care that was given by the company or by the people. And yes, you're getting care, but don't feel bad to ask exactly how they want their care, because they've been caring for themselves all their lives. You get into a rhythm or a routine that you're so used to. And then all of a sudden, when you're cared for strangers, they bring in their own habits, and they may not be your own habits. So having a book like this, which is written out every single page that I have, where it says, whether it's your morning care, your evening care, you would have to come to my website to see what's inside, but it's all the care you would need throughout the day. And with every page that I have you fill out, I have an opposite page that asks questions and gives you tips and ways for you to think about how to fill out those pages. So I think that's why I wanted to make the book, is that I saw families saying, I'm glad that you're doing that. Thank you for making that change in their caregiving. Now, let me put that into a book, put it at the front door, and now every single caregiver that comes through that house can also have those small minutia things, small individual crazy little habits that they've had through their life get used and get into a routine, into the caregiving that they're being given from all those individuals that are coming into their homes.
That's wonderful. So, where would people go if they wanted to learn more about your booklet and order it if they wanted to?
So it's exactly the cover. So if anybody's watching, is this backwards to
Nope,
them?
nope, it's
It's
called This Is My Care.
This Is My Care. So the website is www.thisismycare.com. And on there, I have links to Amazon. I also make this for people, what's the word? I do custom books. So this is one where you would buy from Amazon and you fill it in yourself. If you would like to have a book that's exactly this book, only we're putting in pictures from that individual. The front cover would be a picture of the individual, how they want to be cared for, where, what their room looks like, or where they keep their 10 stockings. I can make a book specifically for that family, for that individual, and all the pictures would be in there, all the words, everything would be digitally put in there, and I would mail the copy to them. And that could be in hardcover, that could be in soft cover. That's an alternate option. And there's only the two. There's this one at $14.99, and the other one I believe is, I haven't looked at it for a while. It's just over $60. There's a lot of work that goes into that one, but it's a simple, if you order it, there's a way that you download a software, and it goes through all your questions. You fill it in, you upload your pictures, and within 2 weeks, you will get a book sent to you, all done.
That's wonderful. And so, can you repeat the website again?
Yeah, it's www.thisismycare.com.
Great. And then are you on any social media channels that maybe they
I'm
can?
on, yeah, I'm on Instagram. And I believe my handle is This Is My Care. And I'm not on Facebook. I mean, individually, I'm on Facebook and I'm always promoting it, but it's mostly just my website and Instagram.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I love it. I love what you created. I see the benefit for so many people with that. Um, we definitely want them to be happy. Um,
It's a simple book. I mean, it's not more than 30 odd pages, and you can fill it out within half an hour. It's pretty simple.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And thank you for creating that. It's much needed out here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks. And thank you for joining me. Us.